Hey guys, it's your boy Easy, and on today's episode of Easy's Garage, I'm going to be bleeding the brakes on my Royal Enfield Himalayan 450 motorcycle. So your brakes work because the pressure that you apply on your brake lever or your brake pedal is transferred through the brake fluid in your brake lines all the way to the calipers, which push the pistons out, and then that in turn causes your brake pads to grab the brake disc. Brake fluid is incompressible. That's why your brake system works, i.e., the pressure is from your brake pedal or brake lever is transferred with minimal or no loss through the brake fluid to your calipers and pistons. However, with time and with use, um, brake fluid will absorb water and air, water vapor. That's because brake fluid is hygroscopic, which is bad for two reasons. One is if there's water or vapor in your brake lines, that could cause corrosion inside. And more importantly, since air and water is compressible, um, that pressure that you apply on your brake lever pedal is not transferred completely to your calipers and pistons, which is what will cause your levers and your pedals to feel spongy if you haven't changed your brake fluids in a while. So it's recommended to change your brake fluid roughly every 2 years or every 20,000 kilometers. So yeah, I'm going to do my 20,000 kilometer service. So I'm going to start with the brake fluid replacement. Okay, so the process of brake bleeding is very simple. We're just going to flush the old brake fluid out from the reservoir all the way through the brake lines and out from the calipers. Every brake caliper will have a bleeder nipple, which from where you can get the old brake fluid out, and it's usually covered with a rubber cap. So I've removed the rubber cap here, and that is the bleeder nipple. So every brake caliper will have a bleeder nipple. There's usually a nut that which is holding the brake fluid in, but if you loosen that nut, brake fluid will flow out. Okay, so that's how we're going to get the old brake fluid out. And at the same time, while we're getting the old brake fluid out through the system, we're going to be pouring in new, fresh brake fluid. And that's essentially the process. I'll get into the details later. What we're going to need, obviously, we're going to need some new brake fluid. Most street bikes, actually almost all street bikes will use .4 brake fluid, but check your owner's manual for what brake fluid you need, just in case you have a racing bike or a dirt bike or whatever. You're going to need a PVC tube is enough to attach to the bleeder nipple from where you'll collect the old brake fluid. And to collect that old brake fluid, you just gonna need an empty plastic bottle or any container to collect the old brake fluid. You're gonna need a wrench to open and close that bleeder nipple nut. For Himalayan 450s, it's a 11 millimeter wrench, but again, for your motorcycle, it could be a different size. And just keep a couple of rags handy because brake fluid is damaging to paintwork, so make sure to protect your bike. Okay, so I've prepped up my bike. What I've done is I've inserted the tubing into the bleeder nipple and in the other end into the empty container bottle. I've secured the bottle to the wheel. You can just make sure to secure it somewhere so that accidentally the bottle doesn't tip over and brake fluid doesn't fall all over the place. And I've kept my 11 millimeter wrench on the bleeder nipple nut ready. So I just need to turn it open and close when I'm bleeding the brakes. There are other more fancier methods. I think they have a vacuum pump, so you can attach a vacuum pump to this, which will suck the brake fluid out. But you don't need to spend that much money. You can just get a simple tube, and that'll work just fine. On the other end, I'm going to use a Phillips screwdriver to remove these two screws and then take out their reservoir cover. Okay, so I removed the screws. I protected my bike with some paper towels. Now let's remove this lid carefully. And then there should be a rubber protector here, so let's remove that as well. Yeah, rubber protector. There should be another rubber sleeve or whatever this is called. Get that out as well. You can see the brake fluid inside. Now this is the old brake fluid. This is what we're going to get out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just place the lid back on so that the brake fluid doesn't splash out. Okay, so the way we're gonna flush the old brake fluid out is just use the pressure of the pedal or the lever. So I'm gonna pump it and keep it pressed. The pressure caused by this is going to cause the brake fluid to rush down into the caliper. And while this brake lever is pressed, I'm going to open my bleeder nipple on my caliper, let the brake fluid rush into the tube and into the empty container, close the bleeder nipple, and only then release the pressure from the brake lever. The reason it's important to not release the brake lever while the bleeder nipple is open is if you do that, then the lack of pressure will cause the old brake fluid to rush back into the caliper and into the brake lines, and even cause some air that's in the tubing to rush back into the caliper and into the brake lines. And we want to avoid that. We do this a few times until all the brake fluid is out of the system. As you're pumping the old fluid out of the system, this brake fluid in this reservoir is going to get lower and lower. And we're going to keep topping this reservoir up with new brake fluid. We want to make sure that this is never empty, because if it is empty, then you're going to be sucking air into the system, which is what we don't want to do. So we want to make sure that this is always topped up. How do we know when we're completely done flushing? On this side, you'll notice the brake fluid will be quite dirty. The old brake fluid will be quite dirty. You'll see some air bubbles. So you keep flushing the system until there are no more air bubbles escaping the system, and until you notice the fresh new brake fluid that you're topping up from the top, it's appearing out of this bleeder nipple here. That's when you know the entire system has new brake fluid in. Okay, so let's get started. Pump, keep it pressed. Open the bleeder nipple. You can see the air bubbles and brake fluid rushing out. Close the bleeder nipple and then release. Repeat, pump, keep it pressed. Open, close, and then release the pressure. And I'm gonna keep pumping until this goes down, and I'm gonna top this up with more brake fluid. So let's repeat this process. Okay, now I've done pumping and flushing the brake fluid a few times, and I did it until the brake fluid coming out of here looks clean, i.e. looks like the new brake fluid, and there's no more air bubbles. Once that's done, just do one final top up, which I've done here. So I've topped it up with fresh brake fluid, and now I'm just gonna reassemble everything. Okay, so after reassembling this with the rubber sleeves and the protector and the cover, screw in the two screws, give this area a nice wipe so there's no brake fluid, and if just in case any spilled out. On this side, carefully take out the rubber tubing from the bleeder nipple, making sure that no brake fluid spills out. Put the rubber cap back on the bleeder nipple, which I've done, and you can see the old brake fluid. Mine looks pretty clean, but if you haven't changed your brake fluid in more than 2 years, it'll look pretty disgusting. Now let's move to the rear. I'm not gonna video that because it's essentially exactly the same process, but I'll just show it to you. So on the rear, this is the brake reservoir, and this is the brake reservoir cap. It's just a screw-on type, so you can unscrew this to take out the cap. You don't need a Phillips screwdriver or anything. The rear brake caliper is here, and just like the front brake caliper, this is the bleeder nipple right here with the rubber cap. And instead of a brake lever that you pump and keep pressed, you pump the brake pedal. Pump, keep pressed, open bleeder nipple, close bleeder nipple, let go, and keep topping this up with fresh brake fluid. You keep doing this until you notice no more air bubbles escaping. That means you've got all the air out of the system, and the brake fluid that's coming out looks clean. It's no longer gunky, and that's when you stop. And then again, make sure you do one final top up, so make sure that this is full or above the minimum level with fresh brake fluid. Put any rubber protectors and the cap back on, and that's it, you're done. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, and that's how you bleed your motorcycle brakes. One final note, be a responsible person and don't throw this down the drain, your old brake fluid. Dispose it correctly. So just easiest thing is to just drop it off at your nearest mechanic and they'll know what to do with it. Second is you're probably going to have a lot of new brake fluid left over because you don't need that much to bleed your brakes. So if you have a few bikes, best to bleed all of them at the same time, or if you have a hydraulic clutch, bleed that as well at the same time. And if you still have leftover, give it to your friends so they'll be able to use it to bleed their brakes. Don't keep an open container of brake fluid for too long, maybe a couple of months at most. After that, it's again, like I said, it's gonna absorb moisture and air and water, so it's gonna be less effective. Okay, hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the like and subscribe button, and stay tuned for my next few videos. I'm doing my 20K service as I mentioned earlier, so I'm going to be doing an oil change, an air filter change, and more interestingly, I'm going to be opening up the engine and going to be doing my valve clearances, valve measurements, and adjustments. So stay tuned for those. Alright guys, it's your boy Easy signing out. Take care.